Hello. So, I'm most likely going to finish the compliance today. I honestly don't want to continue waiting to know more about the story because it's killing me every day. One second. Okay. So, last time we played, we left a man in our basement, and let's see. And Gran apparently is bad. I don't know. So let's see. Let's just see how the story goes and continues. And yeah. Okay. Let's just go on with it. I just hope my little boys and my little girl are not like hurt or anything. I just hope like for the best happy ending for these like characters. So let's go check on Mr. Tolliver. Oh, he's not there. Uh-oh.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen. Or maybe Gran knew everything. Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating. Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
Oh no, that's a horrible idea. What are you doing?
He flipped the lid to read the label.
Okay. Sure. Hopefully she's not awake. Oh, she's not there. Uh-oh.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself.
Okay.
Something was wrong.
Oh no.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
So I guess they were trying to poison or sleep Mr. Nuncreed? Okay.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him?
I mean, it wasn't for you, it was for...
Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
Okay, let's see. Oops. Oops. Okay, there we go. Let's go. Let's see if his basement is closed. It's not closed. So Grandma knows. Nothing happened. Okay, so let's just go. Just go outside and go to bed. Or at least try to. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, everybody's here.
Augustus Valentine
Everybody's
nervously
here.
wiped his brow.
Even the book. Even the alligator with the book is here. Hey.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie. William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival. He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Ew.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest. Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd. He wiped away a single tear. He thumped the podium to emphasize each word. Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention. Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd. His voice began to build to a crescendo.
And we exploded and froze.
The crowd began to look around nervously.
That wasn't fun
Mr.
there.
Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards. He raised his hands up to the heavens.
And we're frozen. I knew it was gonna happen.
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end, on a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end. There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything! Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again.
I am not gonna do that because I'm fairly entertained by this game and we're gonna finish this shit.
No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
Okay, I will. There's nothing else I need to change, right? No, okay.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation. Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task.
Okay, so I'm thinking... So these three are the ones who explode the place. It like freezes hell over. Because that's the only reason Fran gave us like a very emotional like note. And then these three are always acting suspicious and against the company. So I'm guessing they're the ones who explode the ice.
With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver. Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints. Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
He's smart. I love her.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints. Beck quickly removed the ropes.
How does he not see Rollo or, I always forget Luca. I always somehow forget the main character's name, but like, I love him. I just forget his name from time to time. But still, that doesn't answer the question. How can he not see them? And clearly Rollo is not hiding.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead. Beck twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought. Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue. Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement. Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle. Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune. Beck blinked slowly in disappointment. She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper. Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back. Luca and Beck looked at Rollo with amazement.
Hi, bye. Let's see what Mr. Nutri decided. They're siblings.
Gus looked around nervously.
I don't think so.
Eris's cry hung in the air.
Casos de familia. Okay, let's go. Oh, hello. Barely seen you.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice. Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Okay, bye. The telephone?
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside. Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
Where's bed?
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad. The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
Okay, no, I don't like this because we're gonna get separated. There's 3 holes. Okay. So do we choose or what?
Rollo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
And we're done. Shit and Dean, we're gonna die. Of course.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
Okay, so was I wrong? Or is Mr. Nuncreed actually a nice person? I don't know. No, I'm confused.
He gestured toward the strange tubes. Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Okay, so I don't know what to believe in anymore. Because if he's not evil, the Valentines are kind of secret-y, but they're not like evil to my knowledge. And then Gran is the evil person here. But the company though, I don't know what to think.
He shook his head wistfully. Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
Okay, never mind.
Luca began to laugh.
It's fine. They're children. fine.
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
Oh my god. Shh. Shut the fuck up. You don't know who to trust at this point. What is going on?
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic. A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
Okay, so yeah, at least I was right on that part. And he left. And he bye. Oh no. Oh, okay. I thought she was gonna go see her mom.
Chapter 8. The Cold, Hard Truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera, as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
Okay, so this is an underground area. So the copy town was made above this. Okay, so nothing here. Oh, okay. So this is okay. I don't have to do everything all over again. Oh, oops, sorry.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind. Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Oh my god.
held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer.
Oh god.
Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder. Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened. They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement. They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions.
Yeah, no shit.
The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
We began to... I don't know if humming is gonna help. Weeping, though. I don't know how this is gonna end up. I hate making decisions, and mostly like very stressful situations. Sorry if you hear the pee tappy of my husband's like playing, but yeah, we tried to like change the audio as best as we could. But unfortunately, I might have to get a brand new mic for that. But yeah, okay.
And in the stillness, he began to weep. It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow.
Wow.
Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
Oh, that's a bad thing. What do you mean back to normal? We're gonna freeze and we're gonna not be back to normal.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed. Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness.
I mean, maybe she didn't know.
She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
Man, we're gonna die.
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence.
She didn't know.
Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luca, her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror. There was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end. Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
Yeah. Okay, that's fun.
And in the stillness, after the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind, the only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud. Gran lowered the torch, listening closely as recognition slowly set in. Her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out.
Okay, good. Oh my gosh.
A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note.
Okay, but this is kind of getting to me. Okay, does this stop or do I have to stop it? I don't know.
Luca lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother. Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees.
Oh my god. I'm actually getting emotional.
Something about her was undeniably his mother. Only smaller, older, changed. Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies. Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
I'm low-key crying.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
Okay, so we're finishing up the story at least, I think.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again. Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow as if searching it for answers.
Okay, at least we're not freezing to death. Who's he?
Chapter 9. The Devil You Know. 7 months ago, Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under Perennial Harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus Liquamen. There were dozens of them. Every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
Okay. Yay. Yeah, let's go.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone. Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Oh, there we go. Oh, shit. Ah, shit, I knew it. The moment I, like, it makes sense now.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncrete's face.
Fucking knew it. Like, it makes sense. It makes sense. He's the fucking ass. He never died.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground. Kerr gave a bow of deference. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips. His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist. A hushed horror gripped the crowd. This is a story about change.
I saw it coming at the very last minute.
Sharper examined his new hands.
So that's what, oh my god. It all makes sense.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd. William William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
The poor Yorkie. It's like, what the fuck? I help you say these little letters, what the hell?
A helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
Shit. Damn, you're a horrible father.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous. Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Oh my. Oh no.
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Oh shit.
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous, a secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. The end. This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
Okay.
There was a malice lurking behind those eyes, like a trap ready to spring. Luca felt the weight of Nuncreed's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luca to get out of there.
Oh, right. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Okay, that's good.
Luca twisted free of Nuncreed's grasp.
Yeah, I know. Now I know. So creepy, though. Okay. Well, not the Yorkie. I'm hoping the Yorkie is so good at this fun.
The two scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan.
So where do I go to see? Oh, wait at the treehouse. Oh, okay, right. Oh. Hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna order food. Well, I'm getting hungry. So I think I'm just gonna leave it here for the time being. And then I'll be right back. I'm just very hungry. So yeah, I'll be right back. And see you guys in like an hour, probably half an hour. Probably an hour. But I'll see what I can do. I'll be back as soon as I can. And we'll continue this story. We're gonna go ahead and finish the story since we're so close to the end. And yeah, I'll be right back, guys. See you. Okay, so I just came back. I decided I think it's best if I just make two different live streams instead of just being in the BRB in like an hour. Because I still have to wait till the food gets here and all of that. So, what I decided to do, I'll just go ahead and end this live stream right here. We will continue on after I have kind of had and eaten and like taken a break. But we will be finishing this game today. So I'll be back within an hour or so with a brand new live stream. So if you want to continue watching, please make sure to like subscribe or anything. I don't know how to do this. But if you just want to continue, just hop back in on my next live stream. And it will be the final part. So yeah, I'll see you guys later, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this tiny live stream for the time being. Bye!